The disappearance of mother Anna Walshe.
Her husband now charged with her murder.
All eyes on this accused killer.
Mr. Walsh was suspecting his wife of having an affair.
The massive trail of evidence.
This incredible timeline of Google searches.
It shows everything that was in his mind.
He searched how long before a body starts to smell.
The disappearance of Anna Walshe murder trial.
You are watching at Southernson, home of true crime. Smash that like button now. Court is on a short break. Don't go anywhere. The action will be right back on at Southernson. Court is on a short break. Don't go anywhere. The action will be right back on at Southernson. Court is on a short break. Don't go anywhere. The action will be right back on at Southernson. Court is on a short break. Don't go anywhere. The action will be right back on at
Oh, yes, please. Thank you.
All rise for the court, please. Jurors entering.
One in my head, one in my hands.
Put us back in session. You may be seated.
And you may proceed.
Thank you very much. Marino, I just want to finish with that. Can you just remind me of the exhibit number in front of you on the binder?
Yes, it's Exhibit 79.
I just want to finish with Exhibit 79 with the going back to initially page 598, record 2193. If you could just tell me the title for that.
Yes, Patrick Kearney, Google search.
Okay. And going then to page 600, record 2198.
Yes, this is Patrick Kearney, Wikipedia.
And could you please tell me the date and time for that?
Yes, January 1st, 2023, 11:30:57 a.m.
And in the course of your investigation, did you do anything to determine who Patrick Kearney was?
Yes, I did.
And what did you do to determine who Patrick Kearney was?
I went to the Wikipedia site that the user of the laptop went to.
And what did you learn?
That Patrick
Overruled.
Kearney was called the trash bag killer.
Thank you. Trooper, I want to ask you if you were able to, I want to ask you about what day you received your search warrants from the court. You had previously told us that it was January 10th of 2023. Is that correct?
No, I messed up the days.
What date was it?
I got the warrants on January 9th. I did the device extractions on the 10th.
Thank you. So that's still of 2023?
Yes, that's correct.
Thank you very much. So, Trooper Carino, you made a forensic copy of the iPad Mini 6. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
And that was item number 7 that you gave in the lab. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And after getting that search warrant on January 9th, how did you make the forensic copy of the device of the iPad Mini 6?
So I used Gray Key, which is specialized hardware and software, to extract the information from the device so we could look at it later.
Okay. And what date did you use the Gray Key?
That was January 10th of 2023.
Okay. And can you just explain the process to the jurors of using the Gray Key?
Yes, so we get the device, we plug it into the system. If a passcode is known, you enter the passcode. If not, it has the ability, depending on iOS and Apple product model, to brute force the passcode to guess it. And it can take anywhere from days to years.
Okay. And then once the information is extracted or a copy is made, what do you do with the data?
We save it from the Gray Key server to our secure server so we can load that into whatever forensic software we want to look at, whether it be Cellbrite or Axiom.
Because it's not in a readable format at that point. Is that correct?
That's correct. It's in an encrypted file.
Okay. And where is the actual device now, that iPad Mini 6?
That's at the Norfolk DA's office evidence room.
Okay. And after you made the forensic copy, then what did you do?
The device would stay in evidence, and then we would load that, like as I said, into our forensic software to start looking at the information.
And what software did you use?
I use Cellbrite for this one, their
Okay.
physical analyzer.
Trooper, had you previously examined this device, that same device, the iPad Mini 6?
Yes, I had.
And when was that?
January 7th of 2023.
And how did you have possession of the iPad Mini 6?
It was given to us by Brian Walsh, the police.
And what forensic tool did you use when you first examined the iPad Mini that Brian Walsh gave to you?
I used the same products. I used Gray Key for the extraction and then Cellbrite Physical Analyzer to view the data.
And at that time, did you have the password?
Yes, I did.
And what was the password for that device?
121212.
And after making a forensic copy of the data, what did you do with the iPad that the police received from Brian Walsh on January 7th?
Devices were returned to Brian Walsh.
And that same device in the Walsh residence on January 8th when you executed the search warrant?
Yes, it was.
And how do you know that it was the same device?
So when we plug a system into Gray Key, it creates a logs report showing the date and time that we plugged it in, the process it goes through, and creates a PDF. When we plug that same device in days later, as long as the extraction has been deleted off the server, it rereads and knows this is the same device, same serial number. The hash value for the information may be different because time has changed, so user input and changes to the device will show. So,
But serial number's the same.
yeah, serial number is the same. The Apple ID, the model number, all that stays the same.
And who assigns the serial number?
Apple, when it's manufactured.
Okay. So when you examined the device on January 10th, after the search warrant issued, did you determine who the iPad, whose Apple ID, for this iPad, whose Apple ID associated with it?
Yes, I did.
And what was the Apple ID?
brw@tensaleconsulting.com.
And was there a device?
Brian's iPad.
And when you first examined the iPad Mini 6 on January 7th, what was the Apple ID?
The same, brw@tensaleconsulting.
And what was the device name?
Again, the same, Brian's iPad.
Were you limited in the dates that the search warrant allowed you to examine?
Yes.
Sure.
A lot of people think that Georgia Farm Bureau Insurance is just for farmers, but most of our customers don't farm at all.
I love knowing
Court is on a short break. Don't go anywhere. The action will be right back on at Southern Sin. Court is on a short break. Don't go anywhere. The action will be right back on at Southern Sin. Court is on a short break. Don't go anywhere. The action will be right back on at Southern Sin. Court is
Trooper, the warrant that you wrote, that you thought, you limited the dates to 12/25/22 through January 8th of 2023 for the data that you could look at. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And so you followed those when doing your search?
Yes, you're able to edit the information down to that set time frame.
And so you did an examination of the web history for the iPad mini, is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so you did it for both initially for when Mr. Walsh had given you the device, and then you did it again when you sought a search warrant. You did 2 extractions of that and analysis, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And Your Honor, that has been marked as exhibit number 8. Previously as exhibit number 8.
And noting the prior objections, any new objections? All right. That's item number 7, is that correct?
That is item number 7, the iPad mini. Thank you.
Okay, so I now marked and in evidence as exhibit 80 is the extraction for item 7, the
Thank you. And my,
iPad mini 6.
may I approach, Your Honor?
You may.
And Trooper, I'll show you the cover has report 1 and report 2. And there's a yellow piece of paper that divides them.
Okay.
Can you just tell me the difference, report 1 and report 2, when those were done.
Yes. So report 1 was just an extraction of the web history that I created to send out in email format on January 7th. And
At Vistaprint, we print signs so people can see your brand up close, but we also so that people can see your business here. See it here and see it here, so you stand
The
out.
disappearance
even when they're
of Mother
way
Anna
back
Walshe.
here.
Her husband now charged with her murder.
All eyes on this accused killer.
is
Mr. Walsh was suspecting his wife
post
of
that this
having an
has
affair.
data of
Massive trail of evidence.
This incredible
11,
timeline of
10,
Google
2025
searches.
using,
It shows
again, physical
everything that
analyzer
was in his
for
mind.
He searched how long
The
before
web
a
history.
body starts to
Okay, and that's from the search warrant content, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, and what makes the PDF reports different, besides one was given to police and one was based on a search warrant?
Yeah, so Cellbrite and all of these companies, they come out with constant software updates. This is a far older version of Cellbrite that I used. This is just a newer version, so it might have some columns extra that the older version didn't have.
So you're pointing, and if
I'm
you
sorry,
could just
yes.
use your, if you could just use your words.
Yes. Yeah, so each report has different columns. It's the same information, but it's just extra. It may have an extra column of information. That's the only difference.
So the second report in the file, that's where it was updated, is what you're saying?
Yes, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay. So you said that the binder contains the web history from the iPad. So those are the same? The web history is the same?
Yes, nothing was taken out from the web history. It's whatever was there from that date and time frame.
Okay. And the binder, you said that the binder contains the web history from the iPad. And what had you looked at with the MacBook? Also web history?
Yes, it's the Safari Web. It's just called a little different in Axiom, just how they name it.
Okay. And what did you find between the MacBook and the iPad web history?
So the web history for the iPad, other than numerous more YouTube videos, had the same searches that we saw that are in the MacBook.
Were you able to determine which device, the laptop, meaning the MacBook, or the iPad, the searches originated from?
Yes, I was.
How?
So initially, I only looked at the iPad first and had believed that they possibly had come from that. By extracting the database from each device and loading it into a SQLite browser, which is another program to just view the databases, I was able to see that the MacBook had a designation of 0, showing that it originated on the MacBook, whereas the iPad did not have that. It had an unknown source.
Okay. And what did that indicate to you?
That the MacBook, all of these searches that were done on the MacBook were native to that machine from another device coming over.
So what did that indicate that had happened with the iPad?
Well, that due to the Apple IDs being the same on both devices, the iPad during setup must have had the sync function on because it's able to sync the web history to the iPad, but not the iPad to the MacBook.
And what does sync mean?
Synchronize. Apple makes their products, so if you use the same Apple ID on your phone, your laptop, and your iPad, it shares all the information, so you're constantly switching between devices.
If a user does not change the settings, the data can sync across devices that are signed in with the same Apple ID. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. So if you look back at the big binder, that being Exhibit 79, and you look at like record 2365 on page 650. Thank you. It says
What's the record number we're looking at?
2365, Your Honor.
Okay.
It says in, I'm sorry, if you could go up, Ms. Gilman. Yeah, 2364, I should have said. In that URL, it says channel equals iPad underscore BM and source. What does that mean?
So it's reading that channel is iPad underscore BM. BM stands for bookmark or favorites. So it's that the Google search engine is a favorite in the iPad.
Does that show that the search originated on the iPad then?
No.
So why is that appearing?
I'm not 100% sure or why Apple codes it this way, but it's that the iPad and the MacBook are synced. So the iPad has Google as its saved bookmark search engine.
Thank you. You could take it out. Thank you very much. Did you forensically copy the iPhone 13 mini and iPhone SE pursuant to a search warrant?
Yes.
And these are Apple products?
Yes, they are.
Okay. And are you familiar with an iMessage?
Yes, I am.
And what is the difference between an iMessage and a text message?
The iMessage is going from Apple device to Apple device, whereas a text message is going Apple device to an Android. You'll know this if you have an Apple phone, you get the blue messages. And if you send it to someone who doesn't have an Apple phone, you're getting the text box is green.
So what was the process that you followed to make a forensic copy of the phones?
The same as the iPad, plugged it into GrayKey, did the extraction, and then from there saved it to our server and would be able to load it up later into Cellbrite to analyze it.
Same process?
That's exactly right.
Okay. And could you forensically copy both phones at the same time?
No, as I said, we have one key machine, so we have to do one device at a time.
Okay. And then were you able to look at the device on a program like Cellbrite?
Yes, that's what I use, Cellbrite Physical Analyzer.
And had you previously viewed data on the iPhone Mini 13?
I did a cursory look with Trooper Connor Keefe, but I didn't go deep into it.
Okay. And had you accessed the iPhone 13 Mini previously?
The iPhone, the same way. It's through GrayKey, downloaded it, and Cellbrite Physical Analyzer to view it.
But had Mr. Walsh given that to police?
Oh, yes, that's correct.
Okay. And when was that?
January 6th or 7th? January 6th, I'm sorry, of 2023.
And you had worked, you said, with Trooper Keefe on that?
That's correct.
All right. And did you have a password for that iPhone 13 Mini?
Yes, we did.
And what was that password?
1975-12.
And were you able to determine a phone number for that iPhone 13 Mini?
Yes, I was.
And do you know the phone number?
Yes.
And what is that phone number?
617-939-8646.
And what is the Apple ID for that phone?
Two listed, Diana_Walsh at Comcast.net, I believe, and then Brian R. Walsh at gmail.com.
So that's the same as the MacBook and the iPad?
No, that's correct.
So what's the significance of that?
Well, the phone wouldn't sync to those other two devices.
Did you examine the device to see if the iPhone Mini 13 was used January 1st and 2nd of 2023?
Yes, I did.
And how did you do that?
I pared it down by date and then looked at the device events.
And were you able to prepare a report?
Yes, I was.
And how did you prepare that report?
I exported the device events from the phone from Cellbrite Physical Analyzer to PDF.
That's previously marked as Exhibit 81.
Any new objections? What's the item number on this one, since that's what I'm keeping track of?
Oh, the item number on this one is five.
Thank you. The extraction for item 5, the iPhone 13 mini, is now in evidence. It's Exhibit 81.
Your Honor, might Ms. Gilligan display this?
You may.
Thank you. If you could just do the top columns. Thank you. Trooper, what is event type?
The event type is what the phone records, what it did. So shown here, device lock status.
What is value?
What happened with the phone. So showing, the first one is showing unlocked.
What is additional information?
If the phone recorded any additional information, like how it was plugged in or anything, it would show in this column here.
What is AC charger? If you could go down just a little bit, Ms. Gilman. A little bit. Keep going to AC charger. Thank you. What is AC charger?
So line 5 shows the charging method, and shows that it plugged into an AC wall charger.
What is that?
Like when you plug in at home to your alternating current in the wall.
Thank you.
Sorry.
What is USB port?
That's the charging method. It was plugged via USB port to charge the phone.
What is source?
The source is the location of where the information came from the device, like how it recorded.
So there are two options, I believe. If we could see Knowledge C and Biome.
Yes, it's two different locations, how Apple stores data. Knowledge C is the database.
Vamos. The disappearance of mother Anna Walshe.
Her husband now charged with her murder.
All eyes on this accused killer.
Mr. Walsh was suspecting his wife of having an affair.
The massive trail of evidence.
This incredible timeline of Google searches.
It shows everything that was in his mind.
He searched how long before a body starts to smell.
Correct, for
The
Eastern Standard Time.
disappearance of Anna
That's correct.
Walsh
If you look,
murder
it
trial.
says UTC -5 in the parentheses.
Thank you. So 7:57
Yes.
a.m. So that's device number 2?
Yes. So it shows 1 and 2 show the same items. 1 just shows the start time, 7:57 a.m. The device lock status, the phone was unlocked.
And how long was it unlocked?
Approximately 2 minutes.
And what time does the device become locked?
7:59:45 a.m.
And after the device becomes locked, what happens next to it?
8:09:12 a.m. on June 1st, it is plugged in.
And then what happened?
It recorded 2 charging things, 2 separate apart. And then after at 11:23 a.m., the device is unlocked again.
Okay, and then what happens?
It is then locked at 11:24:15.
And then what happens?
The device is 12:38:40. It's unlocked again on the 1st.
And then what happens?
And then it's locked again at 12:39:20 on the 1st.
And then does the phone get unlocked?
Yes. 12:45:20
And then what happens?
and locked again at 12:36:49.
And then what happens?
It is unplugged on the 1st, 1:42:02 p.m. And then unlocked on January 2nd at 2:25 p.m.
How can an iPhone be unlocked?
There's 2 ways, Face ID or by inputting the passcode.
Trooper, in addition to your digital forensics work on this case, did you transport evidence from the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner to the crime lab?
Yes, I did.
And generally, what did you pick up?
I believe there were 7 bags of rug, some metal tissue, and I believe hair.
And how large were those bags?
The bags of rug were like not as big as a lawn leaf bag, but a large brown bag, and the other ones were smaller.
And when was that?
January 11th of 2023.
And where did you take those?
To the main crime lab.
And what did you do when you arrived at the lab?
I turned them over to crime lab staff and filled out their intake paperwork.
And did you submit those for processing?
Yes, that's correct.
And you got a receipt for that you
Yes.
dropped those off?
Yes, they gave me a copy of the intake form.
I might have one moment.
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Cross exam.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I think I'm going to stay here for a while so we get a good recording. I want to talk to you about this timeline, this date that you referred to. You applied for a warrant from 12/25 to January 8th of 2023, correct?
That's correct.
And when I said 12/25, of course, I meant 12/25/22, correct?
Yes, yeah, 2022.
And when you draft a warrant, you are the one that picks the dates, correct?
Depending on the investigation, it can be yes.
Okay. And you were asked that question, that you applied for the warrant and those were the dates that you requested.
Yes.
Now, it's fair to say, isn't it, that once you began an investigation in a case, and if you learn more information, there's nothing stopping you from going back to a court and applying for a further warrant, correct?
It would depend because the courts have shown that we need to have a specific time frame. So I would need some information to show why I would need to go back right for an earlier time.
Okay, well, but if you have that further information, nothing stops you from going back to the court and asking for a different warrant that encompasses different time periods.
Yeah, I could.
Okay, now, one of the things is that you don't have any information to tell this jury about of any of the data that originated before December 25th of 2022.
Confused by your question, so sorry. Yeah.
The data that you're telling this jury about today, you've said it a couple of times now, it's limited to 12/25/22 through January 8th, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
So that's the data you're talking to them about, correct?
Yes, I only viewed that information.
You would agree with me, wouldn't you, that you have the entire contents of the map, don't you?
I do have the contents.
And how far in date does the content go back on the MacBook?
I have no idea. I didn't look.
Because you limited your warrant to 12/25/22.
That's correct.
So if you thought as an officer involved in an investigation that there might be some important information that predates 12/25/22, you have every right, and there's a procedure for you to go back to the court and explain to the court why you think there might be more information back before 12/25, and see if you could get a warrant to cover that earlier information.
If I had information showing that there was more, then I could, yes.
Okay, and you never did.
I don't believe I had any other information showing that I needed to.
And you didn't have any information that you thought it would be important to your investigation to go back before December 25th, did you?
For my role, that's correct.
Okay. So we heard about, for instance, this Pornhub search that occurred on 12/27. Remember that?
Yes, sir.
And we heard about some other Pornhub reviews, like Chatterbait, correct?
That's correct.
And something about Miss Bell, correct?
About what?
Miss Bell?
I don't remember it off the top of my head.
I'm sorry, Miss B.
I still don't remember, but okay.
Okay. Do you remember seeing record 831? Do you have, I apologize.
I don't have that book up here to see it.
Let me ask you this.
Okay.
Do you remember seeing also a reference in the very same data that you've told this jury about that talked about a movie called, or something called Slade, Dominant, Scarlet?
I would have to see it, but could I double check it?
Well, this pedestal doesn't work quite right.
I have my copy. If you want to just tell me the page, I can look. If that's
You know,
okay.
I do apologize. I'm going to give you the page in just a second.
Okay.
I don't know
What,
why.
832?
Thank you, Judge.
Sure.
What was it? I'm sorry.
832.
Oh, record 832. I'm
Record
sorry. I thought you said
832.
832.
It's on page 227.
Thank you. All right. All right, I'm there. And yep.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Sure.
So now I'm going to focus your attention to record 831
Yes.
on page 226. That do you have that?
I do, sir. Thank you.
And it references something called Slade, Dominant, Scarlet, Straps, Cecilia. Right?
That's correct.
Okay. Now, you didn't testify about that to the jury did you, today on direct examination.
No, I wasn't asked.
You would agree with me, wouldn't you, that when you look at these searches involving Pornhub, that in fact, there's a number of, and I keep referring to them as searches, but let me just ask this. There's a number of web pages that refer to what I'm going to characterize as pornography, correct?
It's about 10.
Right. And am I right to say that that cheating wife reference, what's the entire title of the cheating wife reference?
Cheating wife seduces another man to impregnate her. Scarlet Scandal, Seth Gamble, Erotica X, Pornhub.com.
Do you have any idea how that particular porn movie, whatever it is, do you know how it came about?
The only thing I say is that Pornhub was viewed and that
Some cookies sweeten your holidays, while the wrong ones slow down your Mac. Clean My Mac is your digital cookie cutter.
Fixed search term for cheating wife, is it?
well, it wasn't a Google search. It was through Pornhub, so it doesn't record that.
Okay, so your answer is, I agree with you, or yes.
That there's no specific terms listed. That is correct. The video was there. Clicked on.
Because you've already told this jury, and they saw it in a number of examples, that when the user enters a particular search term, the user, that it's a particular word, and then there's generally a plus sign that attaches it to the next search term, correct?
Only in the Google search engine.
Okay. And with regard to this movie Cheating Wife, there is no indication that the term cheating or the term wife or anything else was used to get to that movie.
As I said, I can't view any terms that were put into Pornhub, so it only shows me that search query in Google.
And let me ask you this, in part of the investigation, did you ever go and view some of that movie?
No, I did not.
Okay, but you did testify that there were times, like for other searches, you went and followed the document and the links, and you reviewed the document.
That's correct.
But with regard to this movie, you have no idea what this movie is about, correct?
That's correct.
And you don't know then, prior to December 25th of 2022, how many times, whoever was looking at the MacBook, how many times they frequented movies at Pornhub, do you?
I didn't look at any data prior to December 25th.
Okay. And you don't know how long this person that was looking at this movie, how long they viewed the movie, or if they viewed it at all.
I do. It shows me a time frame of 7 minutes.
Okay, 7 minutes. And how long is the movie?
I have no idea.
So someone started watching that movie, they watched it for 7 minutes, and that was the end of it. Is that your testimony?
That's correct. And then I went to that Slade dominant Scarlet video.
Okay, and that Slay Scarlet, do you recognize the fact that there's some actress referred to with regards to the cheating wife thing that's also named Scarlet?
That's correct.
So it's fair to say, isn't it, that you have no idea as you sit here today whether the person who is looking at this porn hub video, if they're trying to get access to movies that have perhaps their favorite actress or anything else of the sort, do you?
I don't know who this person is. I have no idea.
So your answer is no.
That's correct. I don't know.
And quite frankly, Trooper, isn't it fair to say when you open up some website like Pornhub, it comes open and it has all of these possible selections you can make?
I don't know. I'm not a peruser of Pornhub, but sure it has options.
Okay. So you have no idea what options were presented to the person that opened up this page, do you?
No, I don't.
But yet, it was important enough to include it in the data that you put into that binder.
With the information that we knew, yes.
Okay. And that information, let's just cut to the chase here, is because of the word cheating wife.
That's correct, sir.
Okay, so just the fact that there was a phrase involving cheating wife, that to you was something that, okay, let's just include that in all this data and throw it out, correct?
No.
Okay. So you didn't take the time to look to see what the movie was about. I understand that, correct?
That's correct.
You didn't take the time to see if the actor, the other movie, Slay, Dominant, whatever, was the same actress in the other one, right?
That's correct.
So you really just said, oh, I see the phrase cheating wife, and so I think that's important, so I'll include it in my data.
I object, Your Honor. It's time.
I'll see you at the sidebar, side of the bench.
So, first, my apologies, because I'm afraid that my question is misleading. Go back. This binder that has been marked as an exhibit contains the entire contents of what you found on the MacBook between the dates of 12/25/22 and January 8th of 2023.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. So when I suggested in my question that you, sir, selected certain things, that is completely wrong, isn't it?
That's correct.
Okay. And so I should have used this word. You would agree. You were focused on, by the question, you were focused on the title Cheat One, correct?
Yes, I was asked that in direct.
But you were never focused under examination as to the other porn movie, the Slay Dominant or whatever the title is, correct?
That's correct.
And since you decided to go back prior to December 25th of 2022, you really can't tell this jury how many times and how many different movies were viewed on this MacBook porn.
It's not entirely true.
Because of the 12 visits?
That's correct. So I could look at visits and it could tell me Pornhub was visited. I'm just trying to look here to see how many times. And then it would also tell me, the video would also tell me how many visits. But I'm not sure if that's the entirety of the Spire history or just what I've collected.
Right. You're not sure if it's the entirety of what? Finish that sentence.
The web history that's in the device, yes.
So you just don't know.
Correct. I didn't go back.
And can I just have a second, Judge?
Sure.
So I want to ask you now some questions about what you testified to on direct examination.
Okay.
Let's just start with the iPad Mini 13, device number 5, that's marked as Exhibit 81. You told the jury about the events that you looked at, the event log that you created, correct?
Yeah, so it was an iPhone Mini 6, not a Mini 13. The phone was the Mini 13.
Okay. And well, you told us about Exhibit 81 being locked and unlocked, correct?
Yes, for the iPhone.
Okay. And you told us about how it could be locked or unlocked using either a password or face recognition.
Yes, that's correct.
And how long did it stay unlocked and then locked in the time period that you looked at?
I would see the report again, but I believe it's a couple minutes for each.
Okay. And did you ever determine what was being done on the phone during the time it was locked?
Again, I'd have to look at the
Gifts for the outdoors and the outdoorsy.
Where global insights meet media moments that matter. Where precise placements meet proven performance. Meet MasterCard Commerce Media. Powered by insights from over 159 billion transactions a year and a reach of 500 million consumers, MasterCard helps brands meet customers at the right moment, with personalized content delivering up to 22 times return on ad spend. This is where media meets real impact. Meet MasterCard Commerce Media.
Celebrite, the software you told us about, you can create reports that include certain information and exclude other information.
Yes.
And you can create reports, so to speak, with the Celebrite software that are restricted by date, correct?
That's correct.
And you can do term searches, correct?
Yes.
Well, you can, yeah.
Well, I was thinking, my question was going to be if you're doing like an entire phone search, or you're just looking, say, messages or web history, because there's different places to search these terms, or whatever you're looking for, say a phone number or whatever.
Okay. So you decide what information you want to look at using Celebrite, and then whatever information you're looking at, you can dictate what terms you think are important, and then you can search for them.
Yes, if I had specified terms that I need to look for, yes.
And did you do a term search on the MacBook for instance, divorce?
No. For the MacBooks, I didn't do any term searches. I just did by timeline from what was allowed in the warrant.
Are you aware of the fact that, well, let me ask you this. On that MacBook that you told us about sometime, the reference to divorce and all this thing we heard on direct examination, that only occurred on 12/27 of 2022. Is that fair to say?
I can only say what I've looked for from that time frame. If anything happened prior, I don't know.
But my question is, what you testified to, the references that you were asked multiple times on direct examination regarding divorce only occurred on 12/27.
That's correct from what I have.
And what was the time period for where all those searches you told us about referencing divorce? What was the time period?
I don't remember the exact time. I believe it was around 11 o'clock in the morning, but I could be mistaken. I would have to look.
What was the time period that was encompassed that covered the entire divorce searches that you referenced on direct examination?
As I said, I don't know the exact time. I would have to look to see.
And what time did those divorce searches that you referenced in direct examination, what time did they occur?
Again, I have to look at the notes to see the exact date and times.
But you would agree they only occurred on 12/27?
I believe that's the one they all cast.
And one of the searches that you told the jury about had to do with something like 10 best states.
It was 5, but yes, 5 best states.
Did you take the time to look at those documents that were referred to those searches?
I looked at all of the divorce ones. I did look at some.
And you would agree that if someone were to be searching for divorce, they could be searching for the topic of divorce and how divorce might affect protection of family assets. You'd agree with that, wouldn't you?
Could that?
Yes.
It could, yes.
And are you aware, Cooper, as you sit here today, that around that time of December 27th, are you aware of the fact that Brian Walsh and Anna Walshe were talking about the sale of one of their properties?
I did see Zillow searches in the MacBook for apartments in DC, I believe, but I didn't know anything about sales.
Okay, did you ever take the time to examine the phone that belonged to Brian Walsh?
again,
Section has to form.
Is that,
Sustains, specify what you're talking about, counsel.
um, what are the phones that you examined that were associated with Brian Walsh?
As I said, I only did a cursory look at the iPhone 13 regarding the device events, and that was about it.
So is that what Trooper Keith Elmore?
Yes, he did most of the
And is that
mapping.
Trooper Conakry?
Yes, that's true.
So I guess my next question is, are you aware of text messages between Brian Walsh and Anna Walsh encompassing the dates of December 25th and December 30th of 2022?
No, there were none in the devices that I looked at.
So when you were asked questions about your review of the MacBook and references to the divorce on or around 12/27, you, as you sit here today, you have no idea what was going on in text messages between Anna Walsh and Brian.
That's correct.
And you said you reviewed some of the documents that were associated with the divorce searches. Did you see any documents that specifically referenced what states were more beneficial when it comes to fees and the timing for judgment nisi and things like that in the context of a divorce?
Unless it was listed on the webpage, I didn't see any specific searches for that itself.
And did you, as you sit here today, do you recall reading any documents associated with those divorce searches that had to do with protecting assets of family?
No, I looked at these years ago. I haven't looked at them since.
Those searches that you were asked about under examination coming from the MacBook and the data that you extracted, the many searches that had to do with Chase. You recall those questions?
The Chase Bank? Yeah, yes.
And they're saying that by looking at the data that you based your direct testimony, you cannot tell what specific data was being reviewed.
Again, if I can see the websites listed, sometimes it'll your accounts dashboard, it could list out, but again, I'd have to see exactly what you're describing.
Cooper, I guess the reason I'm asking, let me ask you. Okay. You investigate a case, correct?
Yes.
You're charged looking at data like this, and you use specialized forensic tools to look at the data, correct?
Yes.
And train to look at the data and try to interpret what the data is, correct?
Yes.
And then you share that information, don't you, with the Congress, correct?
Correct.
And so now you were brought in here as a witness, and you were just asked questions about all of these searches that occurred regarding Chase, correct?
Yes.
And is it your testimony then today that the Commonwealth never sat down with you and said, tell us, you can tell us about what's being looked at on those Chase searches?
I wasn't asked to explain every Chase website to them.
Okay, but were you asked a simple question? Can you tell us what the person actually viewed with regards to a Chase account?
Again, if I see the data, I can explain it, but I can't say everything.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
And I'm not.
Yeah. No, I don't understand your question then.
I sat down with the Commonwealth in the context of this specific case and those chase searches and tried to explain to them what it is as the digital expert in the case, what was being viewed on the Chase accounts.
Just that Chase had been website for the Chase account been visited.
And that's it.
That's correct.
You would agree with me, wouldn't you, Trooper Greeno, that when someone enters specific search terms, then the browser or the search engine that they're using will generate a number of results, correct?
Yes.
And then the user can click on some of those results or bypass some of those reserved results and just go to some other results.
That's correct.
And when you would agree with me then that when search results appear, they can lead the viewer, the user, to then follow that link and go someplace else, correct?
It's going to be based on the search term, and then it can send you to something similar, but not exactly what you wrote.
And is that what you told the jury about, correct?
That's correct.
And so when a user gets redirected to some other website or something, that's not
Time to go. Come on.
They're relying on us.
Are we gonna be okay?
We're relying on you. Please donate now.
I'm still in a dream. Snake eater.
thing someone types in particular search terms, and then the software, the browser, then generates search results.
That's correct.
And at times, the browser and the software redirects the user to something that it thinks, hey, maybe this is what is relevant to what you're looking at.
Yes, that's correct.
And I know that it doesn't talk to the user, but you understand that.
Yes.
And you saw instances of that in your review of the data and that.
Yes, I don't know the exact number, but there's a handful that I saw.
Greeno, when someone is doing a search for something like how to dispose of a body, did you follow that link to the result of that specific query?
Don't know if that specific one, but I did go to many of the ones that were listed.
And so as you sit here today, can you tell the jury then that if you were to put in that particular query, how to dispose of a body, that the results would include things like cemetery names or other things like that?
Well, it would constantly change. So if I did it now, the results would be nothing like they were 2 or 3 years ago.
Okay, that wasn't my question.
Yeah.
But that's fine. Let me ask it again. That if someone were to enter specific search terms like how to dispose of a body, the results could simply be, here, take the body to a cemetery, something like that.
Again, I would have to search it to see. I can't say
So you
definitively.
didn't do that.
For that specific one, no.
And so it's fair to say that when someone is using specific search terms, sometimes you have to add additional terms to get information that might be more helpful to what you're asking about.
So like adding more words? Is that what you're saying? That could be, yeah.
So it could be the fact that to get more specific information about, for instance, how to dispose of a body, you would then have to add another search term like murder to get more specific information that you might be looking for.
I can't say.
So you didn't try that out in your context of your investigation in this case.
Again, this was years ago that I did this, so I have no recollection of it.
But you would agree with me, wouldn't you, that just in a general context, whether we're talking about terms like murder or any other term, sometimes to get more search results, you have to add more terms.
Again, I can't say for certain.
So you would agree, wouldn't you, that your review of the MacBook data that you extracted, that all of these dark search queries you were asked specifically on direct examination, that they all occurred only after 4:52 a.m. on January 1st, 2023?
That I was able to see, yes.
When you say able to see, what do you mean?
Well, I didn't have anything going back prior to the 25th, so I only have what was limited via the search warrant, but everything was from the 1st to about, I believe, the 4th.
But we've already been through this.
Yeah.
Let me ask you again. If you wanted to see if there was searches conducted on this MacBook where someone is trying to figure out how to dispose of a body before January 1st of 2023, and you thought that was important to your investigation, once again, you could have gone back and applied for a warrant to see if there were, right?
Well, I'd have to show probable cause for the warrant to show why I would need to go back further than the 25th I've already written for.
So you had no probable cause then to go back to the court and say, I have reason to believe that someone might have been trying to learn how to dispose of a body prior to January 1st of 2023 at 4:52 in the morning.
Objection.
Overruled.
That's correct.
In fact, in all of your examination of the data that you did look at, the data that you chose to limit to 12/25 to January 8th, you saw nothing in the data dating back to 12/25 that indicated any searches that were relevant to how to dispose of a body.
That's correct.
You saw no searches about anything about DNA or anything of the sort.
That's correct.
You saw no searches about how to get rid of blood.
Yes.
You saw no searches about how to use hydrogen peroxide to clean up.
Yes.
Yes. You didn't see
Yes, that's correct. I didn't see any.
But you would agree that you just right in this particular process. If you had what you referred to this jury here, probable cause that if someone had tried to plan murder, you could have gone and applied for a warrant to see if there was data on that matter.
Objection.
Sustained.
In your review of the MacBook digital data, did you see anything indicating a search for a man named William Vestal?
Yes. Was that on? I believe so.
Do you recall when that search was?
I don't. I believe it was prior to January 1st, if I'm not mistaken.
So you have no recollection, as you sit here today, that discussion with the Commonwealth about searches specifically to William Vestal?
No, that's correct.
By the way, I understand these exhibits, these bindings. Sometimes they're referred to as reports, but it's a report generated by Sullivan, correct?
That's correct. Or Axiom.
Or Axiom.
Yeah.
And regarding the report, you never wrote any report summarizing what it was that you found on the MacBook.
That's correct. I take it directly from the software. That way I don't make any mistakes from transcribing it from one to another.
And is it fair to say that this binder that you have there on the shelf, it's 1,034 pages long?
I believe so.
And it contains many, many entries referred to as records, correct?
Yes.
How many records?
I can tell you in a second. There's 677.
Out of those 3,677 records created and celebrated, can you tell the jury how many of those records are relevant to your investigation specific to this?
The exact number of the records? No, I couldn't.
Can you give us an estimate?
No.
You would agree, wouldn't you, Trooper, that it's a very relatively small amount of those records, those over 3,000 records that have any relevance to the point of the investigation of this case?
No.
Well, then how many records do apply to the investigation of this case?
Again, I'd just be guessing, but I think a good portion.
And what's a good portion?
No. I don't have a specific number.
I got it.
Council seats at the bench.
When you walk into a Burlington, walk into low prices and amazing gifts. That's main character energy. Because at Burlington, the deals aren't the only thing bringing joy. Seriously, with these savings, why shop anywhere else this holiday?
Burlington deals brands wow.
understand somebody needs an unscheduled break and the day is getting long. So it's 3:30 hours. I've done a lot of work today, so I'll, of course, use the facilities. But I'm also going to send one break and we'll be back ready to work. The weather, I guess I watched, you're not listening to the news media, so the weather turned out to be nothing but would say. Safe travels home. Before I leave you, I want to remind you first, don't do any research about this case. Continue to be vigilant about not listening to any news media, any social media. Talk to anyone, don't do any research about the case. Continue to help pretty much. With those mornings, you're ready to come home for the night. Appreciate your work. See you back. Ready to work in the morning.
All right, everyone, please. Close your notebooks.
Subscribe to at Southern Sin and hit the bell for when we go live.
This trial is wild. If you agree, smash the like button and hit us in the chat.
You are watching at Southern Sin, home of true crime. Smash that like button now.
Please needed to shut off their water consumption at about 1:45 to make sure we make it through the 2-hour afternoon. I'm joking. List. Does anyone need to raise anything with me this afternoon before we suspend?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Kamal, tell me who's on the agenda for tomorrow. We'll finish up with this.
True crime just got darker. Catch the full episode on the link above. Subscribe to at Southern Sin today and hit the notification bell for more live original episodes Wednesdays at 8 p.m.